Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a tour of this amazing egg-shaped van, which I've never seen before, and it's very, very interesting, and it has a very interesting story behind it. So here we have the owner of this amazing van. So do you want to just tell us your name and talk about how you found it, how you got it, the story behind it?
Okay. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I had a Nissan van, the low top, and I got to the point where I was tired of walking around on my knees inside the van. And when I was up in the Northeast a couple of summers back, I saw these vans. They're made by Unicell in Buffalo, New York, and they're typically sold to the tradespeople, and they use them on a route in their towns, and they never really go traveling with them. So people haven't seen them much. And I have people come up all the time and say, I've never seen one of those before. But they are available from any Ford or Chevy dealership. But they are unique because of the rear door and the aerodynamic shape in the front. They're all fiberglass. It's like, I tell people it's like an egg because it's fiberglass from one side all the way up and over and down to the other side. It's all one piece. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's very, very nice. It's actually lighter in weight than a cargo van, because it doesn't have to have the supporting structure inside to keep the steel panels straight. The fiberglass is rigid enough to be able to not have the support. It does have a steel frame here that goes up and around to support the rear to keep it open and stiff, and it also gives it a spot for the door to seal against. They're available with this flip-up door on springs, so that it makes it very easy to lift and lower. And here's the Unicell name across the back. The door was, the window was cut by the previous owner. But you know, it closes and locks, opens. It's very, very easy to work, and it has rubber bumpers, so you don't have to like hold it. You can just let it go.
That's awesome.
Works very, very well. The floor inside is wood, so it's easy to screw things down to if you want. I bought it in North Carolina and drove it back to Phoenix and did the mechanical repairs that it needed, and then built out the interior. To me, it's not hard to cut 3/4 inch plywood into pieces and assemble them and make various cabinets that you need.
Awesome.
I tried to keep everything on wheels because I like to be able to roll this out, sit it on the ground, roll it into the garage, get it out of the way, and then turn this back into a cargo van.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Works really, really well. The skylight in the top, a lot of people ask me about that, and it's just a spot in the top where there's no gel coat on the outside of the fiberglass. So what you see is the cloth and the resin, and it makes it translucent, and it's good and bad.
Yeah.
This time of the year when it's cool, it wakes you up gradually in the morning, which is wonderful. But in the summertime when it's hot, it acts like a magnifying glass. So I use Reflectix attached to the Velcro to reflect the heat back out and keep the area cool.
Awesome.
As it heats up, it expands and puckers. It doesn't lay flat. I don't know, there's probably better products out there. But I have the generator to be able to run the microwave and the battery charger.
Nice.
Because I have had times, like when I was in Maine traveling, it's cloudy day after day after day, and I couldn't get enough solar, and I didn't want to drive as much. So I picked up the generator and a small battery charger, and that way I can run that for a few hours and bring the battery back up.
Nice.
So that works really well. These are 2 tables that I bought from Sam's Club. They're metal with wheels, and that's what started the whole thing about wheels and having everything on wheels. They were flat packed. I had to put them together. Very easy. And then I built this overhead cabinet. I tried to make it out of the foam board. And that was a fail. There was just too much weight and it would sag, and so I finally ended up making it out of 3/4 inch plywood. I've got latches. Well, let me show you. These are clamps that you can turn around and it expands or contracts, right?
Nice, yeah.
So you can stick them in here and then tighten it against the front and the back, and it keeps things from sliding. That works very well.
Yeah.
A porta potty.
Nice.
And a buddy heater.
Of course.
I have a propane bottle underneath here.
Okay.
And trash.
Yeah.
And the propane tank has a T on it, so one side comes to feed the buddy heater, and then the other side goes over to feed the stove and oven.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people have been interested in asking questions about the oven. It'll do up to about 350 degrees, 375 at the most.
Okay.
So some things you have to just like leave it in a little longer for.
Yeah.
This cabinet holds my folding bicycle, my folding solar panel, and one of those pop-up tents to be able to shower. The purpose of that really is just to contain those pieces so that they don't bounce against my seat as I'm driving down the road.
Yeah.
This couch makes into a bed by just rotating around here, and there are legs that pop out.
Nice.
And then it continues on down, and you have a twin-size bed. It's an extra long twin-size bed, and you can buy sheets for it easily. Then I just tuck it in, so that way it stays made all the time.
Nice. That's a smart design.
I had the plastic boxes under here last summer when I was traveling, and the box is similar to that, but they were sliding out, and I was having problems with them moving around too much. So I built wooden boxes. Here again, 3/4 inch plywood, heavy stuff. But the nice thing is they're trapped in there and they can't slide around.
That's awesome.
So the Dometic Refrigerator is great. I only have 100 watts of solar, and I have a 100 amp hour battery up above here. And that seems to suit my needs. It'll keep the refrigerator running just fine, and it also gives me enough power to charge my laptop or cell phone.
Yeah. Awesome.
I don't have a whole lot of demands when it comes to electricity.
Yeah. That's always nice. You don't have a lot.
Yeah. But a lot of people are intrigued by this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it sounds kind of like a drum, or something.
Yeah.
When you tap on it. I got this for a steal. I only paid $5,000 for this van.
Wow.
But it needed some work. The back door was damaged, and the rear differential needed some work. It needed some things done to it. And I knew that when I bought it. But I knew I could drive it from North Carolina back to Phoenix just fine, and I did. It was a lot of fun traveling back with it, because I had stopped at a Walmart and bought a folding cot and just put in here. And it was an empty van, and it was really strange sleeping in this empty van with just a cot at night. But once I got it back and started getting things cleaned up and the repairs done and started building the inside, I could see that I was really going to have a very special vehicle. And people stop and ask me questions all the time.
Yeah.
I tell people it's almost like traveling with a rock star, because it gets so much attention.
Yeah.
People see the back door, or they notice the front and hear how aerodynamic it is. This particular van is a Chevy in the front. You can get these with Chevys or Ford chassis. This one has the power windows and door locks and cruise control.
Awesome.
With the chrome bumpers and stuff. So it's the upgraded cab. And just makes it nice to be able to hit the button and roll down the passenger window when somebody walks up or something.
Awesome.
I get 17 miles to the gallon. It has a 350 cubic inch engine. 17 on a good day.
Yeah.
15, 16 normally.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you get lucky and you get a tailwind, and it kind of helps you along and you get better mileage.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm going to have to sell this van because I'm developing macular degeneration, which is a loss of eyesight.
Wow.
And I've already lost the vision in one eye, and I'll eventually probably lose it in the other as well. So it's just time for me to move this out, sell this, and find other hobbies and things to move on. Before I came here, I just finished a skin-on-frame canoe.
Wow.
11 foot. And it's beautiful, and I think I could probably enjoy building those and selling them or not. but they're just a lot of fun to build.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I enjoy building projects and stuff. I'm retired, so it gives me a chance to work with my hands and relax and not sit on the couch so much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else I can?
Yeah. So where can someone get one of these? You said on the
Well,
East Coast, right?
There's two ways to really find them.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the dealership, any Ford or Chevy dealership, and order a Unicell brand new, and they run about 40,000 or so, give or take, depending upon what options you get. But you can also search Craigslist and find the older used ones, and they're predominantly up in the northeastern states. And I found this one in North Carolina, about in the middle of North Carolina, but they're made here in New York, and so they kind of congregate in this area because people just don't travel with them typically.
Yeah.
So it's just nice to be able to search Craigslist, and sometimes you'll find one near where you live.
Yeah.
But then again, you may have to get on a plane like I did and go fly off and get one and drive it back, you know.
Awesome.
It's nice because they're all one-piece fiberglass. It'll never rust. It'll never rot. It'll never leak.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you don't go drilling holes in it and creating things, you know, that would be a possible leak source in the future, then it's really, really nice.
Awesome.
It seems to be quieter than a normal van.
Yeah.
I don't have as many squeaks and rattles.
Yeah.
It's very nice going down the road.
Awesome. All right, so question number one, how long have you been traveling and doing this? Like full-time, part-time?
I am part-time. I retired 2 years ago, and I live in Phoenix, and Phoenix is extremely hot in the summer. So a lot of people are like reverse snowbirds. You know, we want to escape the heat and go someplace where it's cool. So 3 to 4 months out of the year, I travel. The rest of the year, I'm back in Phoenix because I love the winters in Phoenix. They're just so nice. The map behind me, I've outlined one of the trips where it was like 12,500 miles.
Wow.
Too much.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson that this last year, I only did 7,500.
Yeah.
But I went up to British Columbia and traveled around, and it was a good time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then another question would be, do you have any advice for people who are looking to get into this lifestyle, whether it's part-time or full-time? Like, what have you learned so far, and can you kind of share what you've learned?
I would suggest starting small and moving up in vehicles, rather than going out and buying the fifth wheeler or the Class A or something, and then losing the money in the sale of that later on when you realize that that's much more than you need.
Yeah.
So I guess you need to figure out what your needs are, and then determine what vehicle will fit those needs, rather than just, you know, going for the emotion of going, oh, that's big and shiny and pretty, I want one of those, you know. Then you realize later, it's like, man, I can't get it into a parking space, and I can't turn around in a road, and you realize different issues of something that it's not working for you, and then you end up having to sell and maybe build out again. But building your own interior in a van is not hard to do, and it gives you the opportunity that if something does go wrong, you don't have to take it to a dealership or go get warranty work, because you've built it yourself. You know where to go to look for the problem and go, oh, this wire has come apart. I'll put it back together. Oh, it's working. Yay, I can move on.
Awesome.
Right? Yeah.
And then last question is, what is the weirdest or the strangest experience you had while being on the road? Yeah.
Wildest or strangest?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you do meet some very unusual people. Traveling by yourself gives you the opportunity to meet people more so than if you're coupled up with someone. If you're an individual, you're more approachable.
Yeah.
So I would say probably the people I have met.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. Coming to a show like this has me talking a lot all day long, and usually by the end of the day, I'm almost hoarse from just answering people's questions about this van.
Yeah.
It's probably the only drawback to this van is just that it's so unique that people just are gravitated to it, or they're drawn to it, I should say, and then they have lots of questions about it.
I don't know. thank you so much for
you're
doing
most
this
welcome,
interview
Evie.
and the tour of this.
Sure, sure.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely comment down below if you have any more questions. And I'll see you guys next time.